keep these on the front end because they look too big.
It's because I'm light skinned. Yeah.
Yo. What the fuck does it do?
What's poppin'?
What up? Manu, it's happening.
Hey.
Alright, let's rise.
I have
What does it do? Welcome to episode 9 of the Gentlemen's Club podcast.
Sheesh.
This is our last episode in the single digits, thank God.
That's a big deal.
That is.
Alright, gentlemen.
Wait.
Hold on.
Before we get to it.
right,
Anybody that was actually waiting for the podcast at 8 a.m., you would know that I made the fuck up and got my podcast switched up, so my apologies.
Yeah, that shit was kind of funny. A couple people hit us like, yo, upload the wrong episode. It happens, man.
I'm tired.
Yeah, we trying to make it work.
He had sleep in his eyes.
Right? Gentlemen, how the fuck are you?
I'm great.
Okay, I like that.
I had a beautiful weekend.
Let's tap.
We get into the weekend. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'm focused.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm focused.
I like that a lot.
Mainly because of, everything happening right now.
Yeah.
It's really
Should we?
important.
Is that going to happen in my life?
Not really, but I'll do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Should we tap into that, man?
Yeah, let's dive.
There's
Wait.
Okay. Hold on. I'm getting
Before-
way too ahead of myself.
Yeah,
Let me pull it back.
Let's slow walk into that because there's a lot of stuff. I want to get the fun stuff off before we get into
Really?
the heavy heartedness.
I can't lie. I wanted to go sad shit first,
Okay.
fun stuff after, end on a high note.
Okay.
All right, let's take a vote.
I'm always down to set the tone, so you know how I'm feeling today. I wore a shirt for a specific reason.
Okay, so fun stuff first.
No. He's.
Oh, you're saying get the sad stuff out first?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get to.
All right, cool.
Let's
run it.
What all those topics in the group are about. Let's get to it.
Okay. So obviously a lot of people do know, but for those who have been living underneath a rock, Jacob Blake was shot in Kenosha. That was over the weekend, was it not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reports are that he was trying to break up a fight.
Good Samaritan.
Yeah, because especially in the hood, that's a whole different story because most people don't do that. Mm-hmm. They usually sit back and mind their business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was trying to break up a fight. Cops showed up. Now, I'm hearing, none of this is confirmed to be true, but there are reports that a different story is going around. And I don't know if somebody's making this up. No other...
We know where it's coming from.
1,000%.
Well, yeah, they tried to paint him in a bad light. They said he had warrants.
Yeah, they're saying he had a knife, and then they said he was going to go for a gun. You know what I'm saying? That's, typical situation.
Well, what we do know is he had 3 kids in the
3
car?
kids in the car. That's situational situation. Man, look, for you to... There's 2 women on the scene, there's children around, and there's people around. And it seems like the way that the cops operate is as if none of that is present. They come off like, no, we got to put you down now.
Right.
But obviously, there's a lot of videos circulating where you see a lot of people who are not black or who are not Mexican able to engage with officers, grab their guns, attack officers, with multiple officers being on the scene, and not one person is shot. And that, sadly, I just don't understand it.
I understand it.
Don't get me wrong. I understand it, but you can't make it make sense to me.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like this is the evidence that we're seeing. And it's like every day I actually have to get online to figure out the fuck is going on and what happened today. And I have to keep in mind that there's a good chance that I'm going to wake up to a video of a black man or a Mexican man or a minority being shot by white officers. This is something that I have to wake up being prepared to see every day. And then I got to think about, all right, well, the aftermath of that. What comes after that?
Family, sadness, grief,
Outrage.
anger.
And this is constant.
It's been, I mean, it's always been there, but with social media and the advancement of technology, it's been in our face nonstop for the last 5 years.
True. And even though those videos are graphic, they're hard to see, I noticed that I am becoming numb to them.
I won't watch them anymore because I am numb to them, and I just don't want those visions in my head anymore.
True. And that really is the sad part. What other thoughts do you guys have about this situation? And are we do you have thoughts you want to get off before that point, or we want to go into what happened only shortly after that? A couple days after that.
We can talk about them as two isolated situations because they are two isolated situations, truthfully.
I disagree because what follows after that.
Well, it's a good example of the hypocrisy.
Okay,
but they are separate.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So, like you were saying, you see it on the timeline, and it's just like another one.
And that's like, we're not even going to attach the joke to that. It's what?
How many more?
To be honest with you, I think this is a part of the program now. It went from it being something that we have an agenda, just so happen to capture it on video. We're going to try to smother this as much as possible. And now I think it's being done on purpose to be seen.
For sure, because there's no way that you can't tell me that in the back of these cops' mind, they're not aware of the level of scrutiny that they are under, especially when it comes to their handling of people of color.
Right.
So for you to do that, there are people around recording it. This is how it got to the point where it's, news so fast, is because there are people around. And this is broad daylight.
And what I want to say is thank you to the people who do put their life at risk to capture these horrific and sad moments, because without them, this stuff would be swept up under the rug per usual, like it has been for many years.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for doing that.
It's crazy to me right now, man, because I feel like we need a complete, total reform of that entire system, right?
Remind me to come back to an idea I have about that was presented to me.
I was going to say, what if we had two levels of policing? One level that does not have lethal weapons.
They have it.
They aren't called in. They're called into a situation where there's a dispute.
They have it.
Not a dispute that is violent. Right?
Okay, I get what you're saying. A non-violent. They're there to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, you're there to de-escalate the situation.
Non-life-threatening situation.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Because this what that situation was. There's two people fighting.
Well,
there was no weapons on the scene. There was no guns. Hey, all right. How about we call in?
Yeah.
This level of authority to come and just.
Your response team to a domestic dispute shouldn't be anybody
shouldn't have a gun. Why?
With their hand on their gun.
Right.
That shouldn't even be the case.
Yeah.
It should be people who have non-lethal ways to subdue people in order to calm the situation down.
And if they need backup, call for it.
Exactly. Okay, now this situation has turned into, a different situation.
Just like they can call for SWAT, why don't we call for the police to have guns?
Exactly.
How about
and
that?
those teams can be on standby.
Yeah.
Right.
Simple solution.
With the supervisor on scene to make sure that those people who are close nearby do not take off on their own accord, do not feel like they get the order from somebody else. Don't get me wrong. I understand that situations can change in a moment, but that could also save a lot of innocent lives.
I think that you do get that level of policing, not necessarily the cops that don't have guns and do have guns type of situation, but that diffusing, you get that in suburban neighborhoods. You don't get that in inner city areas. You don't get that in ghettos and
Well,
I like that. That's a good point to bring up.
I don't know, because like a lot of these incidences aren't happening in the heart of cities.
No, you're right, and I guess it's
like Kenosha's
you get that level of de-escalation when the person isn't of color.
Yeah, because they don't.
I've seen videos where where people are blatantly threatening police officers, hand on weapon, and the police officer is, hey buddy, let's calm down. I'm not going to tell you again. I'm not going to tell you again. No, motherfucker, you keep telling him.
There was a situation recently. That's actually what I was looking up. There was a situation in Pennsylvania, and forgive me if I don't remember the town, but there was a guy who refused to wear his mask, and he was in a cigar shop. Because he didn't want to wear his mask, he got mad. He grabbed the 2 cigars. He went outside, left, or is about to leave. When 2 people from the store came outside, he fired his gun in the air. He fired his gun at one of them. And then the cops show up, and he was able to get off some shots at the cops also. Now, don't get me wrong, that ended in him being shot eventually and taken to a hospital. But when I first started...
But it's eventually.
Exactly. It's not the first thing. It's like if that were to be a different situation, as soon as the officer, we've seen that. I wish I could remember his name. We're going to do better with that. But there's been so many different scenarios where on scene, as soon as they pull up,
hand on gun.
Guns out.
Yeah, no, guns are guns. If they know that a gun is in the vicinity, then they're shooting.
No. If they think that they're in a threatening situation just because of the pigment of your skin, the gun's out and they're shooting.
1000%.
It's just like that kid that fell asleep in the drive-thru.
Fam.
Gun on it. I mean, he might have had a gun on his lap or whatever the case may be. Whatever. You know, anybody that's asleep, when you wake them up, they're gonna be startled. They're gonna be kind of out of it, and so for him to have fallen asleep in a drive-thru, you already see what mental state he's at, right?
Right.
So why don't y'all get in your cars and turn your sirens on, turn your lights on, loudspeaker, hey, wake up.
Make your presence
known.
Hey,
wake up.
And now here's the thing, and we don't got to get into all that, but
they shot this kid 70 times.
Yeah.
70 rounds went into that car for a kid that was waking up. He didn't even touch his gun, just waking up.
The point is...
Oh, shit.
The point is... We're seeing way too many scenarios of black people, especially, being shot constantly. This is what I'm waking up to every other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So prayers to Jacob Blake, man. Found out, I know originally they were saying that he was dead.
I never saw he was dead. I saw he was in critical condition from the beginning.
Yeah, I saw that he was dead from the beginning. But yeah, now that they're saying that he's paralyzed.
From the waist down and he'll never walk again. That's what the doctors are estimating. I hope they are wrong.
Hope they're wrong as well. I am...
The simple fact that he had his 3 children with him.
That's crazy.
Traumatizing.
That's traumatizing for them.
Bro.
And unfortunately, he has to have a conversation with them about why that whole situation happened. And as an innocent... And you can say whatever you want about his past, true or not true. In that moment, that's an innocent man.
1000%.
I don't know how you explain to your child why you got shot that day.
Yeah. And what that does to his children growing up is going to be a even bigger thing.
Yeah.
You want to talk about black people having trust issues when it comes to the cops? What do you think those kids are going to be?
The repercussions.
Bro, just even the fact that black people act different when they're being pulled over speaks very high values.
Bro, I was walking down the sidewalk on my way here, and I saw a police officer come out of the building. I politely crossed the side of the street just because I don't want to.
Your energy changes.
I don't even want to be.
But even in doing that, you bring attention to yourself because it's like, hey, why are you avoiding me? I've been pulled over. I've literally been pulled over for that, and that was the first thing that came out of the cop. You're avoiding me. So what the fuck are you talking about?
I absolutely was. I was trying to protect myself. Do you have a problem with that? What are you protecting yourself from?
You motherfucker.
Yeah, it's no hard feelings.
It's not, but it's
it's mad hard feelings.
I don't feel safe, and if I don't feel safe, I need to do what I need to do to feel safe.
It's rough, man. There's a lot of accounts now that a lot of young kids, when they see police officers, you got a lot of police officers that are good officers.
Absolutely,
they appear to be good officers. That's what I'm saying. They appear to be good officers. They're coming in contact with children, and some children have a frightened response.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That situation can speak to that.
And I hate to say this, but unfortunately, a good police officer, you got to prove it to me
that you're good
before I'm even willing to.
And
all right,
Only way,
hey, that's a good. Hey, that's a good dude right there.
Only way
he cool.
Only way we can rebuild that,
or she's cool,
and reconnect that relationship between black people and the community of police officers is for us to build a relationship. We don't come in contact with police officers unless we're in trouble.
Facts.
So why don't y'all come and hang out with us? How about that? Why don't y'all come and show us?
Right. And not to say,
you know what I'm saying?
Not to say that doesn't happen, because
it does happen.
It does happen, but not
not in these areas where we're seeing people being shot.
1,000%. And I don't
Not
think
in
I don't think it necessarily happens
Minnesota.
enough. I don't think it happens
in
enough.
St. Louis, you don't see that relationship. In Chicago, there is a relationship there.
1,000%.
And I think that for the most part, you don't see a lot of police shootings outside of the one we had a few years ago.
Right.
But man, like there is no relationship.
Right.
And I think in order to better both sides, we need to come together.
I feel like this is, even though tensions are high, those who you would say are in more position of power to come in with a non-threatening energy. I understand you have to do your job at the end of the day. And you know what? To be honest with you, I don't want to go into trying to tell other officers how to do their job, because I realize every situation is different. But
it's a very stressful job,
and I can only imagine.
Fair. So, do we want to get into what happened as far as the incident that happened in Kenosha? Was that yesterday, or do we want to get into responses from athletes and so on?
Let's go into what happened, because that incident.
Let's keep it on the timeline.
Yeah. Let's keep it on the timeline.
All right, we got 13 left. Just letting you guys know.
Okay,
we're gonna take this full.
So, a few days after, there have been protests in Kenosha. Obviously, I know a lot of people know about that. There was a 17-year-old. There was a 17-year-old who had an AR-15, and he seemed to be standing with the cops. From what I know, that he idolizes officers and whatnot. He shot 4 people, killed 2, and was able to flee the scene. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. I know people were saying that he did the wave off and whatnot. Everything was all cool. You know, when he was approaching officers at one point, obviously they didn't know everything that had happened. That's what I'm going to go with, because I know that people are saying that he was able to go to officers, get water, everything was cool. I honestly don't think they knew what had happened, because later on there were videos that surfaced of him running away from protesters and certain people, which I don't know why you would be chasing the kid with the AR who just killed 2 people.
They probably seized the weapon.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Not from the videos that I saw. These people are running up. They're chasing him down.
Maybe it was a different time.
From my perspective, he got all that stuff off, got back into his car, and was able to drive home.
1,000%. I get it. I can't understand how any 17-year-old kid, no matter what group he's with, because obviously he's supposed to be a part of some militia group there in Wisconsin.
Antioch. No, he's from Illinois.
I know that, but he's supposed to be a part of some group.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where this kid got access to an AR, because you can't even buy.
It wasn't his firearm.
Whose firearm was it?
If I was to guess, a parent.
I would like to know that, and I want for them to be held accountable too for those 2 people that were killed in this situation.
Fair.
Because you gave access to a kid, a minor at that,
17 the minor,
weapons and ammunition to go and commit acts of violence like this. That's terrorism, bro. That's not just.
Yeah, we can talk. We can say that for another conversation.
That's
but
not just he killed people.
Yeah, that was an act of terrorism.
If you go and shoot into a crowd, right now you're an active shooter.
True. And from what I understand, I don't want to misspeak.
This shit crazy.
But somebody in charge at the Kenosha Police Department, his major point was that there has been a curfew. And if people had stuck with the curfew, there wouldn't be any reason for...
fuck your curfew.
But here's the thing. That's a different scenario if the police officers are out there, if the National Guard is out there, if somebody of authority is out there doing something, not a 17-year-old kid who idolizes the police out there with a fucking AR-15, fam. Mm-hmm. That makes zero sense.
And they're talking about the fucking curfew.
That makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. Because that's the thing. There's no, when people go to protests, there's no children out there from what I can see.
I've seen children at protests.
Okay, that's fair.
Protests that I've been to, I haven't.
I have,
but they were night protests. So
I won't say who, but people I know have brought their children to protests.
Okay,
don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea because now these protests that start off nonviolent on our side,
just because it's nonviolent on our side doesn't mean that the opposition won't be.
True.
I do agree with you guys, but from their perspective, they're trying to show their kids that you stand up for what you believe in.
I thought about it. I thought about doing the exact same thing.
I've definitely thought about. My son's way too young for him to really get it.
Going in the daytime, but I feel like those are the situations.
Those are the situations where I did see kids.
In the daytime protests. In the daytime protests. 12 o'clock in the day.
Yeah, so my argument still stands.
Boom. Yeah, I don't think that should.
Yeah, no, you. Yeah.
Especially in a really populated area, maybe like here downtown Chicago. Cool.
There's no kids. There's no kids out there with their parents' knowledge out there giving their kids guns to go shoot at police officers during these protests, from my knowledge.
Mine either.
You'd be surprised though, especially at the.
But for this kid to be able to wave off officers, let them know, oh, it's cool.
I got this
one. I got this one. The fuck are you doing?
And what I'm worried about is,
why aren't you in school? You should be on e-learning right now, sir.
Is this going to set the tone?
The fact that he was able to wave off the cops is crazy.
That's the point.
That's the craziest part.
Is this going to set the tone moving forward?
Because it's a black man waving people off. Well, fuck that. He getting shot. They're not even asking no questions. Not only did they not ask questions, they walked away. It's like, oh, he got it. He got it.
That's a Jacob Blake situation. From the looks of it, it's like, man, watch out, man. Let me get in my car and get the fuck out of here. From the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
Same scenario, but he had a gun.
Yeah, no, he actually had a gun.
And they saw it. Shot people. Y'all saw it.
He was actively using it. But hey.
And then walked back into the crowd and just said, hey, no, it's cool, bro. Just slide.
You know.
Was able to make it back home. He was found.
But there's no racism in America, so what are we talking about?
Bugging, bro. Bugging.
I'm going to make one statement.
Okay.
And I think that every person that is a minority should figure something out.
Okay.
In regards to this.
Okay.
November is coming up, guys. We have to protect ourselves. If you do not own a way to protect yourself,
invest in it immediately.
Invest in it immediately, because I do not know what the future holds. And there are people I took concealed carry. There are people out here that have concealed carry that never shot a gun, and they carry their guns. There are people out here that were never taught and were given a concealed carry license to carry a gun, never went through any type of class or training. There are people out here that have never shot a gun, who own 4 or 5 weapons in their home. Mm-hmm. And us minorities have what? 1?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Usually maybe one to a household, or people who can provide you with one if necessary in an extreme emergency situation.
But we're trying to get away from that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because that comes with charges.
Yeah.
I agree that comes with charges, but I think that we should protect ourselves.
No, absolutely. I feel like we should legally. I mean, it's our Second Amendment right to bear arms.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we should exercise that, especially with everything going on. Even though that is the thing that they fear the most, is an armed black man.
Armed, educated black man.
Armed, educated black man. That's what they fear the most. But it's getting to the point where it's like getting shot without it. I might as well have one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You getting shot without it, you getting shot with it, man. It's like,
check this out.
I understand.
The law protects you if you're a concealed carry holder. You only are charged with a misdemeanor and $100 fine if you're caught with a weapon in a place that doesn't permit it.
But do the rules apply?
Yes, they do.
But I'm saying, do the rules apply?
Actually apply?
They do, and they uphold within a court of law.
Okay.
the judicial system protects concealed carry holders for that specific reason.
Hey, I ain't gonna judge you, bro. You've been going through your classes, man. Hey, look.
Listen,
don't shoot, bro.
You can also,
I'm playing. My apologies.
You can also, if you are a FOID card holder, you can have a weapon in your car, but the magazine cannot be in the weapon. It can be in the same place, but they have to be in a confined compartment.
Where we at on time?
We have 4.5 minutes.
Just want to let y'all know.
Got you.
So you finished. You did finish your class, right?
Yeah.
Round of applause for you.
Oh man, congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
I will not tell you guys more than that because I'm not supposed to even tell you guys I finished my class.
Copy that.
On this
Oops.
type of level.
Oh. Well.
But I just want to educate you guys. I just want to educate you guys on the law that protects us.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Somebody in our live wants you to know that open carry is the law in AZ.
I love AZ. I love Texas for that same reason as well.
Facts.
Walk around with a rocket on your shoulder in Texas.
May launcher
in a subway.
But real quick, we have 4 minutes, and I kind of want to tidy this all up. I don't want to bleed this into the next segment.
Yeah, let's capture the sports part of it.
So today was the beginning of, and this is still early, so it's all developing still. The Milwaukee Bucks were supposed to play the Orlando Magic for Game 5 in the bubble,
and they said nah.
The Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, home of Wisconsin, home is Wisconsin, Kenosha, all that. So this is very close to home for them.
Right.
Those players decided they're not going to play. They are standing up for what they believe in. They are using their platform to say, you know what, you want to pay attention to us. This is what we're doing. We're not playing.
Let me get a round of applause for that team right there.
Let's do that.
And I also commend the rest of the NBA for standing in agreement with them.
Shortly after, yes, the Houston Rockets and Oklahoma City Thunder decided to do the same thing, and then the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers said, you know what, we're on board too.
Let's get another round of applause for the NBA, man. Those teams doing the right thing.
We're also in talks of canceling the playoffs overall.
So the players are talking about we may not come back until our demands are met. And you know what? Good for them. They should do that.
1,000%.
Another thing, because I don't want this to get lost, because I think this is honestly, I think it's a bigger deal because it's not the sport I would expect to do this. The Milwaukee Brewers did the same thing. They said we're not playing.
Yeah. Wow. Another round of applause for them.
I wouldn't have thought they would do that either.
That's beautiful.
The NBA, it's a majority black league, black players. They've been very active. They got Black Lives Matter on the court. So this move didn't shock me from the NBA, but the Milwaukee Brewers making that move, I'm shocked and I'm proud and I'm impressed. And this is coming from a Cubs fan. Right. So when I say round of applause to the Milwaukee Brewers, I mean that.
1,000%. 1,000%.
That being said,
the Cubs still played today.
Damn.
Yo. That's fucked up, bro. What's up with your team? Yeah. Change this thing.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I want to say that this is too early on for us to really comment on the sports aspect of it.
Right.
But just know that your favorite black athletes, they're aware of what's going on, and they're tired of it just as much as the three of us are.
And they're using their platform to stand up to it.
They're using their platform. They're holding the sport hostage.
Yep. Don't forget about the WNBA as well.
The WNBA, absolutely.
They took the first stand.
Round of applause to the WNBA.
Absolutely.
They do not get as much credit as they deserve.
Right. We're here to give it to them.
Those are strong women that have been marginalized for an incredibly long time, but still come out and do what they got to do.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. You think hockey's going to...
Fuck out of here.
What happened?
I had to throw a joke in there. I'm sorry.
Dead ass, for real.
So we, I know that a lot of people tune into this podcast for one, relationship advice because I look at the analytics, and two, for jokes.
Right. But we had to cover a serious issue and get that out the way.
Absolutely, this is very important. As three black men, this is very important to us. We want to use our platform responsibly. Yes, I said that.
Facts.
We're going to always do that when the time comes for it.
Right.
Don't expect any less of us.
Facts.
In fact, if we don't do it, please call us out.
Please do.
With that being said, this is the end of the first segment. So let's get in some.
And we will be back.
We'll be back.
Okay, bye.
Sheesh.